Okay, after knight h6, white simply played king f2, trying to keep this king in the center, and knight f5, and knight c2. Now, this position, I think black played a mistake with f6. I think bishop d7 will be a easy way to hold this position. He played f6 and bishop d3. Now compared to the both pieces, I think the bishop on d3 with the knight on f5. This position, I think the knight will be much strong than a bishop. So if we used to play black, then I should not try to exchange this knight for a bishop. Simply the position is like semi-open, but still the white knight can jump and attack the pawns, whereas black bishop cannot do anything because all the white pawns are fixed in the opposite color. Though the bishop movement will be more and active, but still I don't prefer to exchange this knight on f5 to bishop on d3. So here he played g5 and Karpov took bishop f5, bishop into f5 and knight e3. See, now in this position black f5 bishop can hardly attack any pawns in the white camp. So black is forced to at least to draw this position, and black don't have at least any winning chances in this position. So he played bishop b1. Now is threatening a5 and b4, trying to exchange a passed pawn and can limit the king to have one more weakness, like the king can enter from c6, b5, b6 to a5. So even he can create some unpassed pawn on the king side after hg. So white don't want to allow this, and the more the pawns you have when in this type of endgame and the position is closed, white will be having a great chance of winning a game. So he played b4, fixing the pawns on the color of the bishop such that it can only be active to support these pawns but not to capture the white pawns. So after b4, black simply played a mistake. I think the reply of white, I think Kasparov didn't saw the move. After g into h4, if you take with g into h4, then it's a simple draw. The reason why I'm saying it's a draw, because the pawn will be on h4 and there is no entry for the white king. White king cannot do come an f5 and cannot do an entry point in this position, where black will not have the same. So after king e6, black simply plays this bishop in this long diagonal, and there is no way such that white can win this game. So here Karpov played a good move with knight g2. If you play h3, then knight f4, king g1, king g2, and king into h3, king, or even knight into h3 or king g2, king h2 will have a good pawn structure, and king will have a entry till h4 and he can grab the h5 pawn. So there is no way black can push h3, so he have to take h into g3, king into g3. Now the problem is white just got an entry for his king in the direction, so black should very perfect should be defending this position. King e6, knight f4 check, king f5, knight into f5. Now the threatening is knight g7, e8 and to c7. Black king will white king simply go like this and grab this pawn on a6 and later sits on c5. So there is nothing black can do about this position, so he played king e6 and knight f4 check, king d6, king g4. After king g4, bishop c2, king h5, bishop d1, king g6, king e7. In my view, I think black could have at least grabbed this pawn and leave this pawn to f6. Later maybe he can block this king with the opponent king, and at least you could have tried to draw the position, but still a very fair chance for white to win this game. But in end game like this, people do often mistake, like when we got a position like this, we have to, from black side, we have to exchange as many pawns as possible on the defensive side. It makes you it gives you more chance to draw a particular game. If you keep more pawns, then your the opponent knight will keep on jumping and you will have a great problem to defend. So here he played king e7, which is, I think it's a mistake, giving the knight d5 pawn, king e6, and as we know, Karpov, he is a great positional player. He can manage to win this type of endgames. So after knight c7, king d7, knight a6, bishop into f3, king into f6, king e6, king d6, king f5, king d5, king f4, bishop h1, king e3, knight, king c4, knight c5, protecting king to reach to b3, and after bishop c6, knight d3, now threatening knight e5, and bishop g2, knight e5, king f3. If you play king b3, then if you play king b3, then white will simply win with king d3, and if you take the pawn on king a3, white will complete cut down the black king, and later with the maneuvering of this knight, he can simply push this pawn to a queen and grab this bishop for this pawn and can win the game. If we play king d3, bishop f1 check, and king d2, good move. Even now the black king cannot take a3 pawn, and there is no moment for king c4 now, and this pawn will become a queen. Even after now, if we play king e3, king c3 wins on spot. So king c3, now knight g6, king c4, knight e7, bishop b7, knight f5, bishop g2, knight d6 check, king b3, king b3, knight into b5, king a4, and knight d6. In this position, Kasparov fears that Karpov can win from this, because he cannot grab this a3 pawn, because the b pawn will be queening very fast. So this is a very good game in the tarrach opening, and how to grab the weakness of a d5 square, if not how to create a weakness, and how to create a entry point in the black camp. I hope you enjoy the example. See you in the next class. Bye.